Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's 12:25 on this Monday, August 27th. Hard to believe we're almost at the end of August, if you will. But this is my vlog for this past weekend, and I can tell you what a weekend it's been. Basically this weekend started out on Friday. My mom came home a little late. She was going to come home in time, rest a little bit, and then we were going to go to an ice cream social put on by our pastor and his wife, and for the church. Well, we still went, even though she got home about an hour or 40 minutes before. Still gave her time to rest and everything, but rest just a bit. But we still went. And after that, we still went. We had fun. Basically, the ice cream social, in case some of you probably know about this, it's basically a social where you bring your own homemade ice cream, and the host and hostess present their own, and you can bring anything else you want. You want to bring toppings, for ice cream, chocolate syrup, or whatever. Or if you want to bring cookies like me and my mom did, then there you go too. Anyway, we had fun there, talked a little bit, just enjoyed ourselves. It was nice out, didn't need no jackets or anything, so that was good. And then the next day was my mom's 63rd birthday. And it was the first time I woke up, and it was the first time that I noticed she was using the Disneyland cup, which I had given her, that I bought at Disneyland this past June. And I used mine as well. Mine's a lot bigger, so mine's like, if you pour the whole entire cup you pour all the way to the top, then half of your coffee could be gone or something like that. But anyway, we spent some time. She relaxed a little bit, took care of some things she wanted to take care of, and then we went to my sister's, my older sister's here in town, to celebrate her birthday, and as well as reunite with some old family friends that we had not seen in a while due to personal reasons. And that's all I'm going to say. And it was good to see them, get along, kind of reunite, reminisce, put whatever personal issues we've had or certain members of the families had behind us and just move on with the future, because, hey, people make mistakes. You can't hold a grudge forever. But anyway, we had fun, and what happened, and like I said, we celebrated my mom's birthday, and what happened was, as she was opening her presents, my nephew Elijah always likes to make his little presents, like give away certain things he doesn't need anymore. So, just like he did with my niece, he took some of his dolls and all that he doesn't use, was stuffed animals or toys, and gave them to my mom so he can contribute. But both my sisters and their husbands contributed as well to one present, which I was supposed to do, but that was my fault. I didn't have the money to do it. They basically, what they did, because, well, long story short, over a month ago, we were in Monterey for my cousin's wedding. Well, the day after the wedding, we were driving around, just driving around, walk on the beach, kind of eat lunch and all that, before me, my second older sister, and her husband had to go back. I had to go back to check up on the animals, see how they were doing, and my second older sister and her husband had to go back because she had to work, and I guess he had to work or something, I'm not really sure. Well, actually, he had to go get the kids from his mom's. So, anyway, so basically, the short of it is, my mom wanted to borrow my camera. Not the one I'm using now. She wanted to borrow this one. Yeah, she wanted to borrow this camera here. And seeing as though this was my only camera at the time, I was very reluctant. And here's the reason. I basically been honest with them. I told them straightforward. I just did not have a good feeling about it. I didn't have a good feeling about her using the camera. So it was a big argument. I kind of overreacted, said some things and did things I shouldn't have said and did. So basically, they decided that we're going to get my mom a camera of her own for her birthday. Well, what they did is they did just that. They basically went to I guess my older sister went to Costco in Modesto or Tracy and bought my mom this camera, this Panasonic Lumix S7X camera, which has 1080p video, 20 times something or whatever. It's got 2 less megapixels than my camera, so that's a bit. So some people might think that's a benefit or a positive. But anyway, it's got all these neat features, and I'm happy for her. I really am. I am happy for her because, what I found out was originally that was going to be going towards me, but because of what I did, they decided, instead of him, let's give it to Mom. And you know what? That's okay. I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine with it because I figure, HD is HD. It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, 1080 is 360 pixels more, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know why? Because I have told my sisters this the other day. I told my brother-in-laws this. And I even told my 17-year-old nephew this. All I have to do is use Sony Vegas, which is Sony Vegas 7 or 9, whatever it is. Basically the best one there is. I think it's Vegas 7. Or Vegas, whatever you want to call it, Vegas 7 or 8, whatever one. I have, I think, 7. I have Platinum Movie Studio 9.0 and I have Vegas 7. So, anyway, the one that basically allows you to go to 1080p in the M2TS mode. So anyway, I basically explained to them, look, it doesn't matter because all I have to do is take my videos like this one here, put them on a disc, or maybe even if I can, send them through the email, put them on my computer in my room, load them up on Vegas 7, put it at 1080p, M2TS, or whatever, and voila. Instant 1080p. No big deal. It's kind of like when I would use Auto AVC, the AVC program on this computer, which is Auto Any Video Converter. Basically, it's got an option at the end, which is also an M2TS file. And what it allows you to do is to take videos like, say, 480, which this goes up to, and convert it to 720. So in other words, your boxed picture, like what you would see in a regular standard TV, will be expanded to be HD. So it doesn't matter exactly. I mean, if they take a look at some of my videos that I did, like the Wonderful World of Color, the Tiki Room, and a few others, they'll notice that they all were stretched out to 1080p. Well, not 1080p, but 720p, even though they were recorded originally on this. So to me, it doesn't matter because all I have to do, like I say, is take this, either put it on a CD-ROM or email it over to, through email, download it off my computer, put it on Vegas 7, boom, there you go. And again, the way I look at it is HD is HD. I mean, they wouldn't be selling 720 HD TVs still if 1080 was the superior brand. 1080 is just 360 pixels more. Remember when let's do a little comparison. Remember when they said that HD DVD would be better than DVD? Well, it is. But remember when they said it'd be the next big thing? What happened? It didn't last. Blu-ray proved to be the more superior brand. And why? Because Blu-ray can work with 720s or 1080 TVs. It doesn't matter. It's just it's just the difference in pixels, that's it. I mean, how do you think the HD situation started out, my friends? It started out with 720 And then somebody came up with the idea, you know what, we can make a more sharper picture, let's go 1080. And that's all they did. Basically with this, I could put this on on a TV me and my mom were going to get, and basically the pictures would be high def according to what I read on this. Same with the one I'm using now. So it doesn't matter exactly. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, all I'd have to do is take the video, put it on a CD-ROM if I feel like it, or email it, and then just put it on Vegas 7, and there you go. Or if the AVC program, any video converter, it's supposed to upgrade and all that. So if the upgrade has 1080, there you go. So no big deal. It's no big deal, honestly. I mean, if it was a big deal, I would have gone crazy. But when I look back on it, I'm like, you know what? If anybody should be blamed for what happened in Monterey, it's me. I shouldn't have said the things I said. I should have just done what my family said. Give her the camera and say, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. But here's the reason behind that. Here's the reason why I didn't automatically give her the camera. It's not just because I didn't have a good feeling about that, and the fact it was in Monterey and everything. And also, it wasn't just the fact that my nephew, your nephew, who kind of has a bit of an attitude at times, was going to be with him the next day. But from what my sisters have told me on numerous occasions, or have kind of told me on some occasions, and sometimes they've even shown in their opinion, an example of a situation, of a certain situation. Basically, my mom, when she borrows something, she ends up keeping it for a certain amount of time. And I don't know if she said this to me directly or not last year when she was taking a class that, where she was required to take pictures. But I asked her, well, what are you going to do? You're going to want to keep it or something? I asked her, well, I didn't ask her that. I basically said something like, well, I told her I didn't have no problem, but the thing is, the only problem, well, actually I did have a problem, I should be honest, but the only problem I told her I had was, well, if I give it to you, you're going to end up wanting to keep it. Or if I lend it to you, you're going to end up wanting to keep it. And I think she said something, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I was hearing things. She said something along the lines of, well, what if I do? Well, why don't you let me? Or something like that. And you see, it's not just hearing something like that, and then of course with my sisters kind of giving examples and saying similar things themselves in the past. I just don't want to take that chance. So I'm happy she's got her own camera now. And she's even come out and said, hey, you know what? I'm not the kind of person that's going to be self-centered. I will let you use it whenever. So whenever she does open that, she's going to be the first to use it. She can do whatever she wants with it. And whenever I see an opportunity, maybe I'll use it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But besides that, she had a good time. And then the next day, we got up. We had my nephew, my 17-year-old nephew, and his brother over just for the night in the morning. The father came and got them because they were going to Circus Vargas and Tracy. We were going to Tracy to meet up with my aunt and uncle to drive to Manteca, to the Christian Worship Center there, to see my cousin and her daughters do the hula ministry dance to the song "Let the Veil Down," and it was beautifully done. And we had a good time after that, attended service and everything. Then we went to lunch back to Tracy to have lunch at El Señor Frogs, which is a great place. And the food is exceptionally good. It's made fresh. And my mom got an unexpected belated birthday surprise thanks to my cousin. I mean, here we are just sitting. Next thing we know, we hear the staff singing happy birthday to her. And it was like my cousin who was sitting next to me kind of hinted to them, yeah, it's her birthday. Can you. Anyway, we just had a good time, and then afterwards we spent time, over my aunt and my uncle's, just catching up, looking at albums, watching television, and that was about it. So overall, it was a good weekend, and that's all I can say about it. And that's my vlog for this week, and I'll talk to you all later. Comment below.